We have no doubt seen a tremendous outpouring of support these last few days for the neighborhood around the Jefferson Avenue tops. It is heartwarming and also badly needed in a community that doesn't have a place within walking distance to get fresh food. But the big food giveaways won't go on forever, and those big donations eventually dry up. In the meantime, Tops said today that there is no store reopening timeline. As a comparison, when a gunman killed 10 people at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado in March of last year, that store wasn't back open until this past February. Joining me live right now is Ulysees Wingo, the Buffalo Common Council member who represents the Masten district and a lot of the people who use that store. Councilman, it's great to have you here. It really has been just incredible to see the outpouring of support. And I know so many people in that community are thankful, but as we just said there, that doesn't last forever. We're wondering about what you think the long-term plans are to make sure that this community is taken care of as we deal with this.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. First, thanks for having me. Wish it was under different circumstances, but we're here. And the resources that are so generous now will dry up. This is not something that is sustainable. The Tops store that became a community center was our sustainable resource. And that's been taken from us, robbed right from up under us by this racist, white supremacist, evil individual.
I think a lot of people really are kind of struggling here to understand, you know, the grocery store closes, so you just go to the next one. You hop in the car, right? And you go to the one that's, 5 minutes away or whatever. But, this is a place where a lot of people walk to the grocery store. They may not have those transportation abilities, right? Can you speak to the importance of it being close by?
The reality is the east side of Buffalo is a food desert. There is not a single grocery store like Tops, Wegmans, any in the Masten district at all. And a food desert is a place where there is a lack of access to quality foods, foods with a nutritional value, I should say. And when you are looking at living in a district or an area of the city where there is not access to that type of food, you have to consider how that impacts the community. Everyone goes to this Tops. And that's how it became this hub, this community center. It was more than just our grocery store. It was one of those beacons of hope that we had because we fought for it. And Tops stepped up and installed this store on the east side of Buffalo. And now that this food store has been closed down temporarily, we do have a promise from Tops that they will reopen. We just don't have the timeline either. But that was robbed from us. That was taken from us. And we have to make sure that the city of good neighbors remains the city of good neighbors, and anyone watching and everyone watching across the country knows that one day all of these resources, all of these volunteers, they're not going to be able to sustain the work that they're doing right now, and something is going to have to be done. We need another grocery store in another area on the east side. So we're hoping Wegmans, yes, I said Wegmans, we're hoping they step up and they give us a grocery store on another place on the east side of Buffalo.
You talked about how this had become a community center more than just a grocery store. I talked with 2 employees who gave the harrowing story a couple of days ago, hiding from bullets. And as they're sharing that story, they said how the people who would come in, they were friends with. They called them family, right? That's how kind of tight-knit this was. I think a lot of people maybe don't have that experience at a grocery store, but that speaks to the importance that this was in the area. So long-term, how are you and other people who fought so hard to get this Tops to come in, how are you going to convince a Wegmans or, I don't know, a Dash's or a Bray Miller's or some company we don't even know of to invest in that community?
Well, first of all, we're happy that we're receiving this much attention on this side of the city of Buffalo. We're happy to see so many people and so many organizations and initiatives step up and help out. But this is our reality. As African Americans, we live this thing every day. A disenfranchised community, a marginalized community, an underrepresented community. We live this every single day. This is nothing new to us. We make it work, and we made this Tops work. This was all we had. And we believe that's why this was so strategic and intentional, because this person came to our city in the most densely populated area of Black people and understood that this food store was our source for nutrition and came in and decimated a community by destroying our food store. We need the community all around to know that this is the reality of Black folks. It is dangerous to be Black in America. And we have to understand that and accept the reality that if we don't start talking more about how black folks are under attack by its own country, things like this will continue to happen across this country.
Thank you for coming in and talking about it. We appreciate it. And we will continue to cover this story, and hopefully you come back and share a big announcement, right?
I appreciate it, absolutely.
With this particular part of the issue. Thank you
with
so
this
much.
issue on this side of the city with the new grocery store, I'm praying that we have that announcement sooner than later.
That's right. Councilman Ulysees Wingo, thanks so much for coming on the show. It's good to see you.
Thank you.